Welcome to BJJ Basics. In this DVD, we're going to be going over taking the back and escaping the back position. Now we're going to go over taking the back when somebody goes to sit up out of your mount. Now I'm going to take the back when my opponent is trying to sit up out of my mount. So I'm mounted. Nikki goes to sit up and sit out of it this way. So I feel him trying to get away. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab onto his shoulder. Now I'm going to bring my knee underneath his far armpit here. So I put my hand on the floor. My knee goes towards his armpit this way. Now I just grab around his neck, palm to palm. Sit back and get my other hook in. Fall towards the arm that's going to do the choke. Come around, hand on the bicep, hand behind the head. Finish with that rear naked choke. Nikki tries to sit up out of my mount. So we're here. He goes just to sit up to leave. I'm just going to hold on to his shoulder. I'm going to put my hand on the floor. I'm going to slide my knee under his armpit this way. Now I just hug around, grab palm to palm. Okay? This way. No thumb. Palm to palm. I lay down. I get my other hook in. Fall towards the arm that's around his neck. That way he falls into the choke. Bicep, hand behind the head, touch your elbows together. Finish with the rear naked choke. We're over taking the back from the turtle position. Nick's turtled up here. I want to get my hooks in. I want to advance my position, take his back and choke him. So, what I do is I take my hand, slip it right underneath his armpit and control his wrist. Once I have that grip, what I want to do is I'm going to bring my knee on the other side. I'm going to come up, foot off the floor, base my hand on the floor. I want to put my knee right on his belt. Once I do that, I'm going to take my arm off the floor and roll over my shoulder. One hook, the other hook follows. Once I take that back, I want to bring my arm around his neck, finish up with that rear naked. I have the wrist, knee right by his hip. As soon as I roll him over, watch how my left arm just snakes right around his neck. So we roll over, hooks, snake it right around. Now we're going to go over another option, how to take the back from the turtle position. Arm goes between the head and the shoulder. The other one in his armpit. Now, what I want to do is, I'm going to grab my wrist, sit up straight, and pin it to his chest. So, my arm that goes between his head and his shoulder, that's going to grab the arm, the wrist of the arm that goes into his armpit. So, the arm that's all between his head and his shoulder is going to grab the opposite wrist and pin it to the chest. Now, my shoulder goes tight behind his head, and I'm going to throw my legs 12 o'clock. So I'm here, shoulder right behind his head. I throw my legs, and he follows. As soon as he follows me over, right for the choke. Arm goes between his head and his shoulder, the other one in the armpit. The one between the head and shoulder, that grabs the wrist. Now, shoulder tight behind his head, that's crucial. I bring my head to the floor, keeping my legs together, I throw them 12 o'clock. So we're here, head goes to the floor, and I throw my legs 12 o'clock. And the momentum brings him over to follow me. Here and here, we take. Now we're going to go over the arm lock from the back position. So I'm here, I'm looking to finish with the rear naked choke. As soon as my arm goes around Nicky's neck, he's grabbing my arm by the wrist and the forearm, pulling it down. So I make like I'm going for that choke, he pulls the arm down. As he pulls my arm down, I'm going to bring it down also and just grab right around my leg here. As soon as I grab around my own leg, I'm going to bring my foot across. Crucial, I have to bring this arm in front of his head this way. I bring this arm in the front so he can't sit up at me. Now I just replace my arm with my leg. I lay back into my armpit. I have the arm lock here just to make sure. Slide back, both hands to the wrist, and take. So we're here, going for that choke. Nicky's defending it. So I make like I'm still fighting for the choke. He pulls down. As he pulls down hard, I grab around my leg. Now, if I just go for the arm lock here, if I don't block his head, he's going to follow me up. Man, I lose him. I end up with my guard. What I want to do is, here, he pulls down, I grab around. Now, to prevent him from coming towards me, I keep my arm straight here. Alright, my heel comes across his body. Lay back, I replace my arm with my leg. Now, just keeping this in my armpit, I can just play tight to my body and bring my hips up. Have the arm lock right here. Just to be secure, slide it back to the wrist. Thumb to the ceiling and take. Now we're going to go over the triangle choke from the back position.
I'm on his back, one hand's on the wrist, my other hand I'm going for the choke. My brother pulls my wrist down. Now, I fight for the choke a little bit. As soon as I feel the pressure of him pulling down, I go with it, my foot comes over the wrist, and I put my heel to the floor. Now his arm's trapped. From here, I'm going to lift his arm up. My elbow's on the ground, so I'm comfortable. My foot goes on the ground. I slide my hip back, so he falls right into the triangle. I lock my foot tight. My heel touches my knee. Then I grab my ankle, and then I lock over. My foot goes under the bend of my knee. These toes always up. My other toes hook down, and I hook around the waist. Now to finish, I just lean. My knee touches the floor. One hand's on the wrist. My other hand, I go for the choke. As soon as I feel him pulling, I go for the choke a little more. I go with the pressure, lock the arm with my foot, all the weight's on my elbow and my foot. Slide back. Look at that. I lift the wrist up. I touch my heel to my knee, grab my ankle, and lock the triangle. These toes up, those toes down, and I hook around the waist to secure it. Now to choke, knee goes to the floor, and you sit up. Left hand on the wrist, right hand goes around for the choke. As soon as I feel him pulling, I go to pull for the choke. Then I go with the pressure. I lock my leg around his forearm, trapping it. Lay down on my elbow. Lift the wrist up. My left foot goes on the floor. I slide back so he falls down into the choke. I grab my ankle, touch my foot to my knee, then I lock it. As soon as I lock, these toes up, these toes, my left toes go around the waist and I hook. Now secure. Now I sit up to finish.
Now we're going to go over how to escape the back when my opponent has both hooks in and I'm belly up. So my opponent has his hooks in. He's going for that rear naked choke. My chin is down, my hands are up. As he snakes that hand in, I grab his wrist and his forearm. I want to sit towards the side where his hand's at. I don't want to go towards his elbow. I'd be sitting into the choke that way. So I use my feet on the floor. I use it to push my body to the floor. Now, I don't want to go belly down. I'm going to turn towards him. Once I see his face, I can abandon up top. There's no longer a choke. I have to watch out for my opponent getting on top and mounting me. That's what he's going to do. So, we're here. I see his face. I go right to his knee. I escape out this way here. I keep the weight on my foot, opposite shoulder, and I snake my one leg underneath the other one. So I bring it straight underneath, hugging his hip, getting that cross-side position. Once again, he's going for that choke. As soon as he brings it in, wrist, forearm, feet on the floor. I use my feet to push myself to the floor and turn to look him in the face. As soon as I'm here, there's no longer a choke. I can abandon up top. I want to make sure he doesn't follow me up to mount, so I push both my hands on his leg. All right? As he's coming up, I just put my foot on the floor. The weight's on my one foot, opposite shoulder. That makes my butt light. I lift my butt up and I shoot my leg underneath my other leg. Here. Now I just hug his hip, knee comes in, establish my cross-side position. Now we're going to go over to escape when my opponent has me belly down with both hooks in. He's got his hooks in on me, my feet off the floor, okay? I keep my head down, chin to my chest, hands on either side of my neck. Here. I want my feet to the ceiling. Now I'm going to scrape. Sometimes you have to do this back and forth. I have to scrape my leg across his heel and get my one knee flat in the center of his legs. So I'm here, I scrape it across, and that's what I want to get. Once I get my knee to the floor, all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knee up to my elbow. It's like an upside down elbow escape. So I bring that knee to my elbow. Now I'm in a total ball here. His hook, I want to lay flat, turn towards him, and push his leg into my half guard. So my elbows to my ribs, I lay flat, hooking his leg. I have him in half guard now. Now, I'm just going to keep my hands right to the side. I'm going to bring my elbow to my knee to ceiling, finish up with that elbow escape right back to full guard. All right, he's got me flattened out, hooks in, very bad position. I have my feet off the floor, and I want those toes towards the ground. I want the bottom of my feet right towards the ceiling. Head to the floor, chin to my chest, hands protecting my neck. Now, I have to maybe go back and forth a few times. I have to bring my knee, scrape it over his ankle until I get my leg flat. So, I'm going to bring my knee over, scrape it into the middle. Once I get my knee to the floor, I'm going to stay in a ball. I'm going to bring my knee up towards my elbow here. Once I bring that knee up towards my elbow, what I want to do is I'm going to lay flat. Okay, so I want to stay in a total ball. I'm going to lay flat towards my opponent. When I do that, I make his hook go right into my half guard. Now, I'm in half guard. I'm just going to finish this up by bringing my knee to my elbow, knee to the ceiling, finish up with that elbow escape, right to guard. Now we're going to go over why you do not lock your legs together when you're on somebody's back.
I'm protecting my neck, my chin to my chest. He makes a mistake by locking his legs. So now I'm going to form a triangle right over his foot. I lock the triangle, and then I put my hip to the ceiling. That breaks his ankle. I'm defending the choke with my arms. He makes a mistake of locking his ankles. So now, the same side, the side that he's locking, my foot's going to go over. I form a triangle. Now, the finish, my hips go to the sky.
Now we're going to go over and escape from the turtle position. I make sure when I'm on all fours, especially if Nicky's got his weight on me, it's like I'm in a crawl space. I'm on my elbows and my knees. I never want to try to prop myself up with my hand or hands here. Leaves me open to get guillotine choked, okay? A lot of bad things from here. So remember, picture when you're on the turtle position, you're in that crawl space. You don't want to ever try to sit up. So we're here. Nicky's going to go towards my back. Whichever direction he starts going, I put my leg out that way. So, Nicky starts going towards my back. I see him going this direction. My leg comes straight out. Now, as he continues to go around, I'm going to lay down with my knee in my chest. My leg goes up to the ceiling, and he goes right into my guard. So we're here. I'm in that turtle position, elbows and knees. Remember, do not try to come up here. Now, he starts running in this direction. My leg comes out right away. Now, I lay down with my leg right in my chest. This leg goes to the ceiling, catching him. He runs right into my guard. So, with him back on top of me, it's going to look like this. He goes around. He goes. I'm going to escape the turtle position and transition into the triangle choke.
I'm in a total ball. Hand comes out. I'm going to bury my shoulder underneath my pelvis. I'm going to start rolling. This leg goes out. My left leg, I'm going to hit here. Now my head's going to come up so I can spin on the small of my back. Right into the choke. Heel goes to my knee, then I lock it. Now here, toes. My toes that are underneath the knee. Up, these toes down. Grab the head for extra pressure to finish the choke. My hip goes up and I pull down the head. I'm in a total ball. Hand comes out. I'm going to bury my shoulder underneath my pelvis. I'm going to start rolling. This leg goes out. My left leg, I'm going to hit here. Now my head's going to come up so I can spin on the small of my back. Right into the choke. Heel goes to my knee, then I lock it. Now here, toes. My toes that are underneath the knee. Up, these toes down. Grab the head for extra pressure to finish the choke. My hip goes up and I pull down the head. I'm here, balled up, head down, defending my neck. Right hand goes out. Now, I'm going to put my shoulder, bury it in on your arm. My left arm goes between my legs, and I bury my shoulder. Now I start rolling, so I can see my leg. My left leg, I'm going to hit the shoulder. My head's up, so I can spin. Right into the choke. I'm looking towards the ear. Grab the ankle, lock the triangle. Toes up, toes down. Knees together. Grab the head, pull down the head, and move my hip up to finish the choke.
Now we're going to go over the duck under from the turtle position. Now, I'm in that crawl space underneath him. I make sure, before I escape here, what I want to do is, I'm going to bring my head out to one side. The same side I bring my head out. That leg comes up, come over, grab the wrist. Now, I bring my knee that's on the floor. I shoot it through my armpit. When I do that, I bring my head and neck up on his back. So, I slice it through. My head and neck on his back. My leg right next to his leg. Now I'm just going to loop this leg over. When I loop this leg over, I'm going to bring my chest up on his back. So I loop, move up on his back. Look the way I point my toes in, above his knees. Not on top, just above. Now, when Nicky goes to get up, I get my hooks in first. Before, guys, sometimes when I'm here and I want to try to break him down, he's got his elbows underneath him tight. So I just come underneath, grab his wrist, fold it in, pelvis forward, flatten him out. Now, we take that choke. I'm in that crawl space, everything out to one side. So, head out to one side, that leg is up, I come over, grab his wrist. I shoot my knee through my armpit, right next to his leg. I keep my head and my neck on my opponent's body. Now, it's very important. When I loop this leg over, I have to make sure that my leg is right next to his leg. That way when I loop this over, I'm right up on the back where I want to be. If I sit through and my leg is off, okay, it's not right next to my opponent's leg, I'm only going to be hooking onto one leg. I'm not going to get that back the way I want it. So I make sure my leg's right next to his when I sit through. Now I loop this over, I'm right up where I want to be. Point my toes in, that way when he gets up, hooks fall right inside. Destroy his base by pulling his hand towards my knee, pelvis forward, slip that hand right underneath, take the rear naked choke. Hey, everything that's bad material, I don't want bloopers anywhere ending up on the internet.
I can't do no YouTubing with it?
No YouTubing. I'm Matt, and this is my brother Nick. Welcome to BJJ Basics. Now we're going to go over and escape from the turtle position.
Pistachio, the turtle position. My name is Dick. It's my brother Matt. If you don't like Sarah Jiu-Jitsu, then you.
Yeah.